Shalom, shalom. All praises be unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great most and well. Shalom to the elect worldwide. Yeah, man, just continuing on the great and big major prophecies before, the wrath of the Lord, or the return of the Lord, Yahushai. So this topic is going to be about World War III, man. World War III is written in the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. Thousands of years ago, 2,000 plus years ago, World War III was written, right? And even people in society talk about World War III, and that if there was a World War III to happen, that will end all wars, man. And this Revelations 11:14, it says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Yeah, the second woe, that second great destruction, World War II, is past. And behold, this third woe cometh quickly. The World War III is approaching very quickly, and it's inevitable. Yeah, World War One, the Great War, World War Two, great, destruction and death toll, man. And World War III will be much worse. And even, Illuminati, Albert Pike, he talks about, the last war, the World War III, is going to constitute of people of the state of the the small hats, speaking code, as you can see in the news of the turmoil of the wars in that land, the Ish state and their religion, and the Muslims, which you can see Iran and so other countries like Pali, beefing and fighting. There's a tug of war. Yeah, and Albert Pike mentioned that's going to stir up a war, which is engineered, but nevertheless, it's ultimately the Heavenly Father, because the scriptures have to play out that a war is coming. Yeah, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And you will never find in the scriptures a fourth woe, a fifth or sixth, or how many other woes after the third. No, because this third woe is the third and final woe, the third and final war, the last war, the war to end all wars, and there'll be no more wars whatsoever, because the Lord Yahushua is going to come in the midst of the UFOs and put an end to Esau's reign and establish the new kingdom, which I could read another time. But this topic is about World War III, the World War. Isaiah 9:5 is written, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood." So you have to envision this, like you see in the movie 300 or any other ancient movies about war. Up close and personal. Swords, spears, arrows and stuff like that. Brute force in each other's faces, roaring, yelling, screams and grunts, limbs being, separated, guts, organs and the intestines dispersed out of the body. Very gory and bloody, up and personal, close combat. Yeah, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So this is a prophecy, the book of Isaiah. Prophet Isaiah is seeing that there's going to be a great battle, a war that's going to be beyond ancient battle fightings, and it's going to be with burning and fuel of fire. And what comes to mind? Nuclear destruction. Bombs and missiles is what is going to be used greatly, heavily, in this last war, World War III. So this is prophetic. The Bible predicted the technology used for this modern warfare. This is Joel 2, subheading the terrible visitation. Try breeze through it. The point is in verse 3, and it says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm in my holy mountain." Yeah, and Zion, the holy mountain, represents the nation of Israel. Yeah, as prophets, we're supposed to warn our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, and those that scattered and believe, no matter how their flesh may look like. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh B'Hashim Yahushai cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Yeah, the day of the Lord, God's wrath, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after, even to the years of many generations. Verse 3, this is the point. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. So it's describing this destructive instrument or device that is engulfed, with fire behind it, leaving a fiery trail, which is basically talking about the ICBMs, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. Yeah, missiles and bombs. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Yeah. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. So before this fiery device lands, everything is intact. The trees, yeah, the buildings around the circumference is like the Garden of Eden. Everything looks intact. It looks proper. It looks clean. It looks fresh. Yeah. However, when it lands, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. So in other words, great and massive destruction happens when it lands. But before it lands, all the plants, the trees, and everything was intact. Yeah, this device does great mass destruction. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, as horsemen, so shall they run. Yeah, they're in great formation. They're in power. They have power. Horse represents power. They have power and formation. Verse 5, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall be gathered blackness. Yeah, so before their face the people shall be much pained, like you saw in the movies Terminator Judgment Day 2, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Sarah Connor, when she had that vision, the nuclear destruction happened. Everybody was in peace, having fun, enjoying themselves, playing with the kids in the park and stuff like that. And as soon as that flash hit, everybody's face was in shock. That's what it means when it says, before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces gathered blackness, in great shock, despair, hopelessness. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like the men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Yeah, so to use an analogy, these devices are going to be traveling far and fast, and they're going to go to their set location where they're programmed to be, programmed to go. They should not break their ranks. They're not going to disengage what they're programming. They're going to hit their targets, yeah, and it'll be a perfect hit. They're going to do damage. Yeah? Neither shall one thrust another. Yeah, they're not going to collide. They shall walk everyone in his paths, and when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up the wall. They shall climb up the houses. They shall enter into the window like a thief. Yeah, so Wherever they're destined to go, they're gonna go. And it doesn't matter if you're in a building. It doesn't matter if you're trying to hide somewhere into shelter. You know, it's gonna get you through them windows. It's gonna get you through those buildings. Yeah, it's gonna strike you and hunt you down. That's what these missiles do. And there's different types of missiles out there. There's supersonic missiles, heat-seeking missiles, drones and stuff like that. There's so much technology that Esau has, or the Lord has given him, that he's going to utilize in these last days, you know. Verse 10, and this shows you that this is the power of the missiles. Verse 10, the earth shall quake before them. So it's going to create what? Aftershock, tremblings, you know. These missiles, you know, the greater the bombs and missiles can actually cause an earthquake. You know, it's gonna make the earth shake. Aftershock and all those things, deep and great impacts. You know, causing buildings to collapse on each other, or even mountains or other things in the environment to collapse. The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Yeah? Who's going to be able to survive? Especially if you don't have the Lord on your side, if you're not of the elect, if you're not chosen, yeah? You're in straight hopelessness. Yeah? Therefore, also now saith the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. It's going to be a scary time. Yeah, that's why you need to be more focused than ever, more spiritually in sync more than ever. You know, do the work as much as possible more than ever, and keep being brotherly and look after each other. Verse 13, and render your heart and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. That's what we need to work upon. Proving more the missiles and bombs are going to be utilized in these last days, it was prophesied. 2nd Ezra 16 and 13, it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Now, what bow and arrow do you know can be shot from the one end of the earth to another? It's an intercontinental ballistic missile. Yeah? Intercontinental meaning what? From one continent to another. That's another words, one end of the earth to another. There's many continents in the world, right? Yeah. And also ICBM ballistic. Bow and arrows are ballistic. And it's like ballistics, yeah. Yeah, so like I was saying, let me rewind. Bows and arrows are ballistic, a form of weapon. And the modern bow and arrow is those missiles, man. Yeah. The ancient bow and arrow, you can even light it up on fire and shoot it, and it can burn houses and cause major destruction. But what's higher than that, or beyond that, an upgrade for that, is these missiles, man. Works in the same way, but more devastation. Travels farther and more impact and mass destruction. That's the modern sword, man. I'll read it again, 2nd Ezra 16:13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. And guess what? You might have skilled bow and arrows, you know, very good at targeting. But guess what? With these missiles, you don't really have to be that great. Because you know why? Because the missiles, the bombs, have great mass destruction in terms of radius and circumference, and aftershock and radiation. It's just so much. You got the impact and the destruction that it causes, the aftershock and radiation. There's so much destruction within one sword, man. And should not miss when we begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Continental, intercontinental missiles, one continent to another, so forth. And last scripture, Lord willing, this is Joel 3, verse 9 to 12, and it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Yeah, so war is going to happen amongst the Gentiles. All these nations are going to be involved in this last war, the war to end all wars, World War III. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. All types of special forces, military, they're going to get everybody involved. Right? All for all levels and ranks of their army. Air Force, submarines, boots on the ground, tanks, all their weapons. Yeah? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. What is that talking about? Because plowshares and pruning hooks is used for, like, was it agriculture and looking after the crops and stuff like that. In other words, but it's going to turn into swords and into spears. In other words, what? All their investments and money, instead of looking after their country and I don't know what, like social aspects, or like investing in their, it's like social projects or stuff like that. They're going to say, F that. We're going to put all our focus, our energy, time, money, and resources into military weapons for war. Yeah. Mass distributions of missiles, mass distributions of all types of weapons and military vehicles, recruiting more people for military. Yeah. And guess what? They're gonna be drafting people, man, to war. Drafting people who are underage, men or women. They're not gonna care. Elderly. That's what's gonna happen in these last days. That's how crazy and chaotic it's gonna be in these last days. And here it says, let the weak say I'm strong. What is that talking about? Because you got countries that are superpowers, like Babylon the Great, America, Russia, China, and various. And you got other countries that are weaker. In other words, they may not be strong economically, and they may not be strong military-wise. It may have a lack of funds and lack of military weapons. But guess what? These weaker nations, these weaker countries are going to join forces and join one side. You're either going to join to the left or you're going to join to the right. You're either going to join to America, you're going to join to Russia, which in the scriptures, Revelations, all America, Babylon the Great's allies, like the European countries, are going to turn its back on it. That's another day. But nevertheless, these weak countries are going to join forces, make allies, and they're going to be helped with military training, military weapons, and military information, all of that. Military defense systems, offensive systems. Yeah, that's the weak saying I am strong. Yeah, because they're going to make alliances, just like the BRIC nation. Was that Brazil, Russia, India? Yeah. And so forth. Can't remember on top of my head. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, with a cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Yeah. Jehoshaphat, Yehoshaphat, Yahweh's judgment. And guess what? it's going to be settled in that Middle East region, which is going to be a war zone, which is already a war zone, a hotspot of warfare. And it's going to spread all over the world from that region, you know, because it's already happening in that region. The news is always reporting beefs and turmoil and proxy wars and strikes in that from that region, man. The Ish state, the Palis, it's like a pause back in the Ish state, the Palis, the Iran, all in that Middle East region. So you can see it before your eyes anyway. But people are gonna get dragged into that war. As is written in the scriptures, the least shall draw out the flock, which is the Ish state people are gonna draw, especially Babylon the Great America, into war, man. And you got Americans and people of the UK, you know, complaining and saying, "Oh, we don't want to go to war." You know, these devils, these Amalekites, these small hats are the problem. You know, everybody's waking up to these it's like I don't know if I mentioned Ishmaelites. I mean Amalekites, these small hats. You know, people are gonna complain that these people are drawing us to war. You know, because the UK and Babylon the Great America, they are supporters of the Ish state people. Yeah. But anyways, this topic is about the major prophecies before the Lord returns, and this is World War III. With that, all praise be to Yahweh, Shemishai, B'Shem Kakadash, Shalom.